What's going on, everybody? It's Carlos Afanador here on my most recent flip. This one behind me was purchased for $350,000 in September. In December, we just sold for $675,000, meaning we nearly doubled it in value in 3 months. Yes, we did ride the market a little bit, but there are a few reasons why we were able to boost the value. Let's go show you inside and show you what I'm talking about. All right, so before we start any flip, I always ask myself, at what potential is the property at right now? Before, I thought it was at about a 25 to 35% potential. Right now, we just lifted it to about an 85 to a 90%, in my opinion. We didn't want to go 100% because this isn't a super lavish area. We didn't want to get brand new quartz countertops or brand new cabinetry. So we kept it under budget, but we were still able to get the results that we wanted. So let's start off with the living room here. There wasn't a lot of functionality here. There was no lighting. So the natural thing to do was to add pot lights. You always want to maximize functionality and keep buyer dopamine as high as possible. Meaning every time that someone walks in here, you want them to constantly say, wow, 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 wow. I could see myself renting this place out. I could see myself living here, X, Y, or Z. Just make sure that they're constantly excited. And then that would in turn result into a higher offer when you're about to sell the property. Next reno that we did was the bulkhead here. So there used to be this bulkhead in here, meaning that they had a lower ceiling. Oftentimes you find weird and funny stuff in older houses. In this one, we had a lower ceiling, not really sure why, because we looked in there was nothing. So easy one to get rid of, and now you have high ceilings. So it makes the space just look a lot bigger. You're also gonna notice that we took down this wall here. This wall wasn't purposing much of anything. It was just creating the space to be smaller. But now you have a much more functional layout, which makes for a higher purchase price. In flips, we also think about our target market. In this area, in this property, our target market was investors. So we were trying to hit investors. We're trying to get them to bid up this property as much as possible. And we do that by showing the rent potential in here. So how do we maximize rent potential? First thing is we added ensuite laundry. So you can see this wasn't there before. We added that. In addition to that, we also added a dishwasher in here. Dishwashers do increase rents as well, in addition to brand new appliances throughout, painted cabinetry, brand new countertops. All the aesthetic things that we usually do are gonna increase rents, but there wasn't a dishwasher here, there wasn't ensuite laundry. We know that any investor is gonna love that, so that's another reason why we did it. All right, so let's go show you the bathroom really quick. So in the before pictures, you're gonna see that there was bulkheads in here. There was a big vanity. We're already working with a limited space, so we wanted to amplify this as much as possible. We did that by having a more narrow vanity, which opens up the space. We got rid of the bulkheads, and we also added these really aesthetic tiles just to get the buyer to focus in on the aesthetics instead of the size of the bathroom. All right, we'll show you the rest of the upper floor here quickly. We're in one of the bedrooms here. In general aesthetics with flipping, you want to focus on 4 things, which is paint, floor, trim, and light fixtures. You're gonna notice that that's all we did in this room, but you can see it changes the room aesthetic completely. So again, floor, paint, trim, light fixtures, you're gonna see a 180 in any house. All right, so let's walk into the kitchen. In here, it was very small to begin with. And to make things even worse, they had a deep freezer right here, which just made the space look very small. And over here, there were closets, which is a horrible use of space. If you're already dealing with a small kitchen, you want to utilize this space as much as possible. So we swapped out the closets and we put the fridge in here, and we've also added a dishwasher, which just makes the space look a lot more functional. And again, is gonna keep that buyer dopamine high when they're walking through here. Another major weakness of this house previously was that it was being sold just as a single family home. This house is zoned for duplex. It has a secondary kitchen in it. So we started marketing it to investors, again, from a single family to a duplex. So here you have the 1 unit, and if you want to go to the second unit, it's very simple. Just go through this door. Let's go check it out. All right, so this bathroom used to be really non-functional. The toilet used to be right here. The tub was right there. And this was just very non-aesthetic whatsoever. You can see in the before pictures how ugly it used to look. And again, everything revolves around making the space more functional and keeping buyer dopamine high. So you want to keep the aesthetics high and you want to keep functionality high. So please take a look at the new bathroom that we made in here. So we're in the lower unit right now. The space wasn't very functional. There was very limited lighting. And in terms of the aesthetics, it was super dated. It was wood paneling throughout, tiled ceilings, just things that aren't very exciting. And again, as flippers, we want to increase buyer dopamine as much as possible. So we've drywalled everything. We've added pot lights, and you can see you have a nice open space. You have high ceilings and you have lights throughout as well. Right here, there was a bit of a gap between the cabinetry. There wasn't anything here previously, so we finished up the L cabinet, and there was also this appliance right here, which was making the space look smaller than it already is. So we got rid of that. We've updated everything out of the cabinetry, and you can see it just looks a lot more wholesome, a lot more full. So in this room, same thing as always, guys. We want to focus on those 4 things: paint, trim, floors, light fixtures. Those 4 things are going to change any room and make it go from this before picture to what it looks like now. All right, we're in the backyard space right now. And remember, since we're targeting investors, you want to show all the revenue potential. There are 2 separate structures out here that can produce more revenue, whether it's for storage, storing a car, belongings, whatever it is. You're gonna notice we have this garage here and we have this storage shed right there as well. We'll walk you through them, but this is something that was another selling feature to attract those investors. All right, so we're inside the garage. Doesn't have to be super pretty. We didn't spend a lot of money in here whatsoever. We just wanted to show that there is power in here and it can be utilized as an extra revenue source, whether it's for storage or for storing your own stuff, whatever it is here. It's an additional part of the property, which wasn't really sold in the previous listing. So we wanted to highlight it and of course to increase the value of our listing. All right, we have this secondary structure here. As you see, all we did was we painted the exterior just to freshen it up a little bit. But again, we wanted to show the investor, the buyer, that there can be utilized for storage space in here, can be an extra revenue source. So we wanted to highlight it in our listing and it seemed to have done the trick. All right, so in summary, guys, I hope you've learned how you can take a property to go from 20 to 25% potential to 85 in just 3 months. You can see there was a lot of functionality issues in here. Obviously, the aesthetics were super dated. So by keeping buyer dopamine high, by maximizing functionality, you can see how this property easily went from 350 to 675. It doesn't happen every single time. I think we hit the right buyer. However, you can see the house looks completely different by changing those simple things. I am looking to connect with more of you. If you are an investor in the local area, please connect with me. Follow me on Instagram, cf.afanador, and we'll see you at the next flip. Cheers.